and today's video I am super excited to film because it revolves around freaky true Ouija board stories, and those can be really chilling. I've personally lived through a few, so I know how very real this could be, but I figured since you guys have been enjoying this Ouija board series type thing, that we would go on to the wonderful world of the internet and dig into some true scary Ouija board experiences. Before I get into today's video though, I just very quickly want to say, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Haley. My family on here is the Reese's Pieces. They are the best. I love them with my whole entire heart. And so if you do enjoy my videos, I would love to have you a part of it. Okay, let's get into this. So I spent a little bit of time Googling into different forums where people have shared their stories, and then I stumbled on one where they just seem freakishly true. And so I thought this will be the perfect one to read into. So these are 9 terrifying true Ouija board stories. Here we go. My friend had mentioned that she had a Ouija board, so I asked her to pull it out so I could check it out. At first she said no, but then agreed to do it as long as she didn't have to participate. After she had the board set up, I asked, "Is there anyone in here?" Nothing. So being a dumb teenager, I said, "If anything is in here and not talking, you're a coward." The board was put away after that. Oh no. Fast forward about a week later, I wake up on a stereotypical stormy night. Thunder and lightning, wind and rain, the works. I look around to see why I woke up and couldn't see a thing. I decided to try to fall back asleep. After laying there for about 30 seconds, I hear from downstairs, "Get the boy," in a very raspy, terrifying voice. I open my eyes and listen. Nothing. I start to go back to sleep. "Get the boy." It was much louder this time. Then my downstairs door slams shut. I freak out because nobody slept there. Then I hear, "Who's the coward now?" After that, nothing really happened, but I definitely learned my lesson. That is really freaky. Okay. Definitely the worst thing you can do, and I can honestly say this, you guys, is to taunt a demon or any sort of negative entity, because they don't take kindly to that, and that's not gonna end well. Okay, this one is titled Talk to the Sun. Doing the board with 6 or 7 people, only one of my friends knows Latin, and he was not touching the planchette. The contact starts speaking to us in Latin. The same friend later, with his hand on the planchette, pulled back from having received what looked like a small scratch on his wrist. Not bleeding, but bright red, as if it was fresh. His girlfriend at the time was plagued by the contact they had made and would wake up with strange bruises on her legs. We also contacted something that called itself Z. Hopefully not Zozo. We think Z was trying to escape, as our friend who was conducting the session told us not to let anything touch all 4 corners. My friend asked Z if it was an enlightened being, to which it responded, yes. When my friend asked how it unlocked all of its chakras, it began to travel back and forth between the picture of the sun and the picture of the medium using the board. These pictures are on the 2 corners of the board. The motion increased violently in speed until my friend rather rudely shouted, okay, talk to the sun, I get it." I still don't know what any of this meant. Do you guys know what any of that could mean? But the fact that they contacted something that went by the name of Z is really scary, because there's a demon by the name of Zozo who is said to try to come through the Ouija board pure evil. Hopefully that wasn't what that is. Okay, number 3. Dude, that's my social security number. I got a call from my cousin who said that he, his brother, his dad, and his best friend were using a Ouija board in the basement. Prior to starting, they took a large porcelain doll out of the room because it was creepy and placed it in an ancient room face down in a pile of towels. My cousin took a short break because the board was sprouting nonsense, and he went to use the bathroom. His dad and brother and friends started asking the board questions without him. One of the questions was, "Who is in the other room?" It just started spouting random numbers, and when my cousin came back in the room, his brother said that it wasn't working and that they were going to put it away. He showed him the answer to the last question, and he says, "Dude, that's my social security number." That one's not like too freaky, but still, ugh. It just validates how real these things are. Okay. Suddenly my back started to sting. This is number 4. When I was a kid, I played with the Ouija board with my friends. Everyone except me believed in spirits, so I kept asking the board to do more physical things. Like tap my shoulder. The piece never moved, but suddenly my back started to sting. There were 3 handprints on my back, and they were red and puffy like I'd been slapped. I refused to touch a board ever again. That's very scary, because the minute that you start to ask it to do physical things, you have just took it out of the board and invited it straight into your space. And that's how they form attachments. This one is called Something Demonic Was Present. I got my board after months of harmless paranormal activity in my house. When I contacted something, the planchette started doing figure 8s across the board, which is a huge no-no. That means that something demonic was present. I didn't touch it for months. When I tried again, I asked if there was a spirit in my room. My vision went spotty. I saw a vivid image of a head jerking back and forth, with the words, "with you," were whispered into my ear by something I couldn't see. I sold the board. That's terrifying. Number 6. This one is called I Blacked Out for a Full Minute. When I was 15, my grandma asked me to use a board to contact my uncle who died at birth. At first it seemed we were talking to my uncle, but as time went on, the personality of my uncle changed. He got mean and possessive, and finally the spirit told me that it had my uncle and was coming for me. I blacked out for a full minute. When I came to, the light bulbs in the kitchen had popped, and there was glass everywhere. We never played again. That is traumatizing. My friend Mona, you guys know the story, played with a Ouija board, thought that she was talking to her grandma, and turned out she was talking to something demonic as well, and that's just horrifying. Number 7, I can see you through his eyes. I was about 12 or 13, spending the night at a friend's house, goofing around with a Ouija board with him and his sister. We were getting all sorts of gibberish plus words spelled out, just kind of scaring ourselves for fun, not taking it seriously, when we got the message, "I can see you through the window," and then, "I can see you through his eyes," or something like that. There was a large small window in the basement where we were, and just the backyard and woods past the driveway visible through the window. We asked it more questions, and it said, "I'm under the car." So we somehow got the nerve to go out with a flashlight and peer under the car, to which we saw a huge black stray cat which was hissing. We ran inside freaking out, and the exact moment the power failed and all the lights in the house went out. We were just about to actually have a breakdown until a few minutes later the power came back. We all stayed up until dawn that night and never played with the board again. So we could see them through the cat's eyes. That is so terrifying. Wow. Number 8, days to live. We all asked the Ouija board a question that only the person who was asking would know the answer to. One question that somebody asked was, what was the name of the boat I went on a cruise on when I was 6? It answered. We played with this thing forever. We had cold spot experiences and would place a candle where the cold spot was. The candle would burn sideways, not straight up or down. One night we all asked it how long we had left to live, and this is where it gets scary. Everybody asked, and they had 50, 60 years left. I go to ask, and it says 10. I ask 10 years, and it says days. I'm on day 7 now. That would be so terrifying. Number 9, okay, let's see. This is called We Eventually Broke Our Lease and Moved. My wife and I had some unexplained things going on in the house we were renting, so we got a board so we could try to figure out what we were dealing with. Bad idea. The board was just a standard plain board. We used it one night to speak with, hopefully, our spirit. But what we didn't realize is that Ouija boards open the door for anything to come through and speak. The looking piece flew off the board near the end of our session, and we had no real answers to anything. We were speaking with something, but it was very evasive with its answers. Things got worse in the house, and we eventually broke our lease and moved. Radios and TVs going on by themselves, and water running. After the board though, things got bad. Voices, moving objects, and my wife says I got possessed one night, but I can't validate that as I was asleep. Apparently, I looked her deep in the eyes, and with an evil voice said, "Aren't you glad you played with the board?" Ooh! That is honestly so freaky, you guys. Like, Ouija boards are not a joke. They are not a game. People have had some really bad experiences, and people have actually had to wind up getting exorcisms performed to remove the things that possess them from a Ouija board. Well, you guys, what do you think of these Ouija board true stories? Did any of them freak you out? Do you have any of your own? Definitely let me know in the comments below if you do, and I'm really looking forward to reading about that, because all I know is I've experienced a really scary experience with my friend Mona. My cousin Sarah had a really, really bad experience. You guys heard about that. And I just know that there are so many people who have had terrifying experiences, and I want to know what you guys think, or if you guys have had any. If you guys enjoyed today's video but you are not yet subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos. I don't want you to miss when I upload. And please give this video a big thumbs up. It makes my heart super happy when you do that, so please do that. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.